Hi, my name is Diogo and I'm a co-founder here at Rocks. Today, I'm going to show you our functionality around opportunity management. Opportunity management in Rocks means the ability to create opportunities, manage your sales cycle directly in Rocks, as well as encoding your sales process to make sure that your entire team is working in a consistent way. In other videos, you've seen the research section, which is kind of an account level view where you display all of your agents and they can run research. But what I'm going to show you today is around the revenue section, which is where we have opportunities. When you come into the revenue section, the first thing that you will see is this board-like view. In Rocks, you have the ability to configure different types of boards. You have the ability to edit how these boards look like, from filters to setting up the columns, as well as the different tabs that you want to create. And any person who is in the same team at Rocks will see the deals exactly the way that you've laid them out. In this example, I've laid out our deals by the different stages that we have in here with some mock data. And I'm going to take you through a few of the opportunities that we already have in the system and information that is available with it. So first, you have the ability to create opportunities in Rocks. So even if you have your own CRM but want to be using Rocks to manage your own opportunities, you have the ability to create them, capture next steps, as well as any tasks related with these opportunities. The Rocks agents will also be able to fill out some of this information on your behalf. In addition to that, in the opportunities, we keep track of the exchanges and information inbound and outbound, as well as some of the other more common fields such as stage, amount, close date. They're all part of the opportunities view. To allow you to codify your sales process, you not only need to define what these stages are, but you also need to have some level of consistency and control on how the deals flow through each of these stages. So if you're in RevOps and you're administrating the sales process, or if you're in sales leadership and if you're in charge with codifying the sales process, I'm going to show you next how you can go behind the scenes and configure the behavior across these different stages. I'm going to go here on the bottom left, click on my name, and head over to Settings. In the Settings page, you'll see there's a few options, but I will take you to the Opportunities section. The Opportunities section, this is how you can configure the information that is laid out in the product. So you have the ability to define opportunity stages. You can see here that you have the ability to create them. You have the ability to edit or delete them and set up validation rules, which one of them is already enabled down here. You have the ability to enforce sequential stage progression, which we've done just now. Customize the information that Rocks is looking for in risks. Add and remove products so that they can be attached to opportunities. And then lastly, create custom fields that you can do mapping. And some of these fields can be of the type artifact or templates that your team can use. And I'm going to show you what this looks like in a second. So let's go back to our opportunity stages. And now let's say that I want to make sure that when I go from an S0 to an S1, we are having the team upload a medic template. So let's go ahead and do that. This is achieved via the validation rules. So if you click here and then go to stage validation, any of these stages will have stage validation, by the way. So if you go to stage validation, you'll see that this panel pops up on the right. In stage validation, there's a few different kinds. You can select reviewers, which in this case, I've set up Marco to review. So if I try to move a deal from S0 to S1, anyone in the organization try to move an S0 to an S1, you can go to Marco. You can chain these validation rules, or you can add multiple reviewers to the deal, and whichever one gets to the deal first can actually approve it. Rocks will then keep a log of who approved the deal, so you can have full history on the approval of each deal. You also have the ability to define required fields, as you can see in here. And in this case, we've already added the medic field to be a field that we need because we want people to update the template and upload it into the system just to make sure that any deal exiting S0 will have a medic document along pre-populated and uploaded in the system. You can also set a duration where I've set up 90 days. This is the maximum amount of time a deal can be in this stage, S0. If it goes beyond this stage, it starts sending notifications to the deal owner in order to either move it or to take action on this deal because it's going south. And lastly, you can control the notifications. So this is how you can define controls over how your stage process flows, and you can define the stages, and you can define the validation of each of them. Now let me take you back to the opportunity view. Let me show you some of these rules at play. And I also want to show you the last feature, which is how the RevOps agents help you de-risk some of the deals that you have in flight so your team doesn't have any blind spots. So let's go back into the revenue section, and we can go ahead and collapse this left panel out of the way because we no longer need the navigation. Great. Now what I'm going to show you is I'm going to switch up to the Kanban view. So it's just easier for me to change stage. And let's go ahead and modify this deal onto the next stage. So as you can see, is RevOps immediately said that, hey, you may need the medic information to be filled out, immediately pulled up the field, and it gives me the ability to download the template that I've uploaded because I want the entire organization using the same template. I can download this template, fill it out, and then re-upload it, and then I'll be able to move the deal to the next stage, which will trigger an approval to Marco, which is who we designated as the approval for the next stage. You'll also see that RevOps highlights deal risks. And if you go back to the table view, and if you put one of these deals that has a few risks, we can click in here, and you can see that RevOps is calling out a few deals that it's seeing in this particular deal. And in this case, in a deal with Harness, you can see that there is no confirmed champion or business pain. It was just a friendly catch-up, and so the deal doesn't really have any momentum. In the source, you can see where the agent is actually deriving all of this information, and in this case, it came from an email exchange. So the agent can monitor transcripts, they can monitor calendar invites, can monitor emails, and the actions that occur within each of those to tell you if the deal is progressing or if there's risks being introduced in the deal. And all the risks that are being surfaced, you have the ability to fine-tune and treat them by providing more specific instructions on how these agents should be looking at these deals. Thank you for watching, and we hope that you go out to the product, check out a few more videos, and more importantly, that you give it a shot with RevOps being your CRM today. If you have any questions, feel free to reach the team. We're more than happy to chat with you. Thank you.